How you doing, ladies and gentlemen?
Welcome to our first foray into pseudo-video essays.
So,
Logan's been pushing video essays for a long time.
well, I want to do like an actual... Just wait until the Dan Schneider one comes out. That's going to be a real one. The semester's almost over, so I'll actually be able to do research and write a script and all that kind of stuff.
And if we get popular, all we will do is work on the show.
So today, we're going to be talking about the wonderful show that aired on Nickelodeon in whatever, I don't know, like 2008-ish.
2005 to 2009?
Mr. Meaty.
It was... We just watched some for research. We just rewatched some of it. And it was quite possibly some of the worst stuff I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes. So my main point is just
How ugly it is.
like not just on a writing standpoint and on just a pure existence standpoint. My first point is why? Why does it exist? I want to know who it's for.
I was wondering the same thing
Because it can't be pandered.
Jamie Shannon
Jamie Shannon is the creator.
one of the creators.
One of them.
I would say the main creator because we went through...
Fly machine down.
Hold on, wait. I want to see if it'll pick up on the mic.
We won't know until I watch it back later when I have to edit this tonight.
You should make it just completely obnoxiously loud.
But yeah, so I just want to know who it's for because it seems as if it's pandered towards children, but why
But
would
it's
you...
way too weird even for children to
And
understand.
even then it has like really weird, like not necessarily adult themes, but themes that children wouldn't understand, like in the episode that we watched, or the part of the episode that we sort of got through.
We couldn't even finish it. It was so like atrocious.
Like there was just this weird thing with these like hippie dudes that were at like a vegetarian bar talking about not eating buffalo.
No, they were
Mr.
Meaty, I forgot what the restaurant was called now, but it was the Meaty place.
Yeah, but
And they started selling buffalo burgers.
It was just weird, and they were
we're
like hippie dudes protesting. I'm just like, kids don't get that.
Yeah, and it was like a puppet with dreads. Which,
But then there were some things where the morality was like, okay, this is a moral story for kids, like because it was like. He was one of the fat one stunk, and the one with the emo hair and one eye.
The one who was obviously Drake Bell, and the other one was obviously Josh Peck.
Yeah. He was like, oh, I don't know how to tell him that he smells bad, dude.
He sounded just like him.
and this lady who was an African American woman puppet that was clearly voiced by a white male.
It wasn't
dude.
even a good voice. It wasn't even like they weren't even trying.
They weren't even trying. It was like the most whitewashed thing I've ever seen in my life. And I watched Avatar by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yikes! Wow, that was topical.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was like, and she was like, well, you gotta tell your friends, you know, how you feel, and whatever, or what you're thinking. And then he was like, remember that one time that I told him that his hat looked bad, or whatever? And then it cut to this weird clip of the chubby one holding him
off a building
by his foot, and the cops were like, oh, we're gonna try and negotiate. And he was like, I don't want to negotiate. And it's just like, what in the fuck is happening?
It
like,
was you gotta throw up some clips
Mm-hmm.
or something, because I feel like no words cannot describe how horrendous. I remember like so distinctively. It scarred me for life.
Because I remember...
Hey, I wasn't done.
Okay.
But I just remember there's a scene from an episode, see if you can find it, where like this long grotesque tapeworm comes out of one of the puppets. Like, and I remember it because I was like, what's happening?
I think I know what you're talking
Do you
about.
think it was so absurd.
The PTSD that has ensued from watching that so long ago, the repressed memories are very vaguely resurfacing now that you mention it.
It was so odd.
So I found the episode where the tapeworm thing happens, but I couldn't get a clip from it because I couldn't download the clip. It's not on YouTube. The episode is called Moochmaster. They have the full episode on Dailymotion. I will link it in the description below if you want to watch it. It's truly, truly disturbing when it happens. It's weird. it's more disturbing out of context than anything. But if you are curious to see what happens, it's towards the end of the episode. So yeah.
I should be the new Metro Goldwyn lion, except it's just me, just horrendously burping. Anyways.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, okay, so now from just a pure aesthetic standpoint,
It was horrific
it's horrible to look at.
It's got to be intentional, right?
No, I don't, there's no...
You don't think it's intentionally that bad?
Why would you pander it towards children?
And not make it look good?
And make it look weird and gross that would scar people for life.
Because we need to do more research on Swami Jeff. Look up Swami Jeff, also made by Jamie Shannon. It was like Mr. Meaty, but somehow even worse.
It didn't make, but because this one just didn't make any sense. At least Mr. Meaty, you're like, okay, maybe they're trying to make a point.
It was. I believe what it was trying to do. It was trying to be like a vlogger or something.
But in 2009, when that didn't make any
Yeah,
sense, 2007.
Remember when right,
that was like the dawn of YouTube.
Yeah, like remember right early YouTube, it would be like girl in her bedroom type videos. Remember?
I guess.
I think that's what it was trying to do.
But it wasn't even on Nickelodeon. It was just on YouTube.
From what we could find, we couldn't find where it originated. So our only knowledge so far was that it originated on YouTube.
Yeah, it was so weird. Okay, so the first one that we watched was...
Are we talking about Swami Jeff now?
We're talking about Swami Jeff now.
Okay, we're talking about Swami Jeff.
In-depth Swami Jeff video coming. But
if I could find more on it, I would like to do it because I've never heard of it until now.
So when we watched the Swami Jeff, the first episode that we watched was like him meditating. Or
he was doing really
yoga.
weird stretches,
and I was like, okay, this is whatever. And then the next one that we watched
God,
was called. The title was Naked.
So Logan was like, "You gotta watch it," and
I was like,
"I guess we do."
Yeah, he kept just scrolling. I was like, naked, 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 and so we watched Naked.
He's like, "Come on, Dad,
just
get naked."
There's no build up. There's no build up. It starts out, he's naked, and he's just talking to his dad. He's like, "Come on, Dad, get naked." And then his dad, like...
His dad's like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll get naked."
Yeah, and then he's like, "Turn the cameras off first." And so they turn the cameras off, and then they come back, and he's like, "Hey, everybody." And you could just see, like a small amount of his dad off screen. And then his dad just walks on screen, and they're just both naked, and he's like, "Yeah, embrace it."
It was like, it's like a shower without water. And I was
it just... No point, no context, no nothing. It just exists.
It was definitely like... That was definitely my question when I was watching Swami Jeff was, who is this for?
What is the point? What is its purpose?
So my thing with... I think Mr. Meaty and Swami Jeff from the beginning, are you stressed? I agree.
It's like don't get it.
It's like, why? Who is it for?
Man, so lately, I'm not trying to get existential or anything, but like this is the why I think like, man, why do we exist?
to make Swami Jeff and Mr. Meaty, obviously. Maybe he's just on another plane. Maybe he's above us, you know?
Dude, maybe he lives in the fourth dimension.
But
maybe
I think
he's the commander. Of the
so. I think Swami Jeff and Mr. Meaty are already handicapped because puppets. You can only do so much with puppets.
But like. No.
Yes.
How is it handicapped then?
Well, I mean, it's not like handicapped. You could, with a big enough budget, do stuff with puppets, but they're not because you'd have to for new like facial expressions. You'd have to have a different puppet, right? So
yeah, but it was especially with the Mr. Meaty, they should have got better at it because it was Nickelodeon. The minimum budget for like those types of shows is like $1 million per episode.
No fucking way.
100% dead ass. Most, especially like animated shows, definitely. On Nickelodeon does not have small budgets for their shows.
They could not be giving Mr. Meaty that much money. Hold on, do a Google job. Are you doing a Google job? Mm-hmm. Hold on. I think I might be able to. I already have.
Average budget for...
There's absolutely no way that they gave Mr. Meaty that much money.
I don't remember what statistic I heard it on recently.
According to Wikipedia, Mr. Meaty is a teen sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
What? Also, it's literally just Drake and Josh. Like, the two characters are Drake and Josh.
Yeah, it's at the very least, most animated shows are at the very least $600,000 to $700,000 per episode.
But they weren't giving Mr. Meaty that much.
Either way, though, the budget, like, with Mr. Meaty, there's no excuse. It's Nickelodeon. I'm sure there's a budget, but I'm sure the facial expressions for the puppets can't cost that much. It would be well within the budget, especially if they wanted to make something high quality. So I don't think that that's the problem. Look at the Muppets, man. Muppets are puppets. They're beloved. Everybody. That was a bar right there. But yeah, everybody loves the Muppets, dude. Look at
you're right.
Sesame Street, man. Everybody loves Sesame Street. Everybody loves Between the Lions.
Do you not have? Okay.
You ever watch Between the Lions, y'all? It's good.
Actually, yes.
It's
Between
so
the Lions.
It was so good.
Was it?
It was.
If
beautiful.
we go back and watch
Dude,
it now,
you're telling me you don't like the jousting segment where it's like compound words or whatever, or like two syllables and they're
Oh
like,
my god.
yeah, and then they combine, and it's just like
We're talking about Mr. Meaty.
Okay, anyways, puppets aren't that hard to make good. They intentionally made their puppets look weird, dude. You can't look at me and be like, puppets are hard when they designed Elmo to look beautiful and adorable. Like all of the Muppets, all of the Sesame Street characters, they're all really well looking. They didn't even try to make these things look good.
You're right.
They definitely, especially Swami Jeff, dude.
Swami Jeff was definitely intentionally horrendous.
And I think that carried over to Mr. Meaty somehow. And I don't know why.
I think Mr. Meaty came out before Swami Jeff.
Even if it was geared towards children.
There's no reason.
There's no reason.
Children like things.
Or even if it was geared towards teens. Like, why? Teens don't want weird, gross...
We are teens, and we did not like Mr. Meaty.
I'm an adult. But yeah, it doesn't make sense, man.
Do you think it's like avant-garde or something? Do you think do you think Jamie Shannon thought they were doing something? You know what I'm saying?
They say when you look at abstract art, you get the same feeling that you get when you look at classical art and you just don't know why. And that might be what we experience with Mr. Meaty. But who knows?
I'm crying and I don't know why. Okay. I think... Oh my god, I don't like the way that looks at all. Logan has his finger in the table. We need a new table.
Anyways, continue.
I'm trying to wrap my head around Mr. Meat. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, why? And then we didn't even talk about the fucking, there was the boss.
Oh yeah, the boss.
Okay. Oh, there's the boss of the store, I guess. I guess it was the manager. And then he had a chip in the back of his head, and Logan was like, "Why does he have a chip in the back of his head?"
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it.
You have a chip in the back of his head. I know it. I'm stupid.
And I was like, I don't know, something weird. And then it comes up, and it's like this alien, this cowboy alien, and he's like,
no, I don't think he was an alien. I think he was just a decaying person.
You think he was like supposed to be like a skeleton?
I think that's what he was.
He's like 300 years old. Do you think?
I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Maybe. And then he shocks. I guess he's controlling the brain of him or something.
Yeah, dude, it's a social commentary on the structure of
fast food restaurants.
Fast food service, dude.
Do you think it's that in depth?
It might be.
Hold on, we're gonna do a cut.
No.
Hold on, we're gonna do a cut. We're gonna watch more Mr. Meaty. We're back, and I think my mind has changed. I think Mr. Meaty might be the best show ever.
I think it's a commentary. I really think it's.
I think it might be.
I think it's not only a commentary on the food industry, but I think it's commentary on like teenage life.
But I still think it has no excuse to be the way it is.
It doesn't, and it doesn't have any. I don't think.
And it's still too like weird. And
if it wasn't on Nickelodeon, if it was perhaps maybe on Comedy Central instead, do you think it would have been received differently? Because Comedy Central's not pandered towards children. Nickelodeon is. And I mean, you could say, oh, it was on Teen Nick or Nick at Night or whatever. But
do I think
would it have been perceived differently
on Comedy Central?
Yeah, because Comedy Central has things like South Park, which gets really weird sometimes. It has things like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and shit.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force on
Adult Swim,
which is hilarious.
I haven't watched a lot of it.
It's so funny.
But either way, like, if it were on something that wasn't, if it were on a network, that wasn't pandered towards children or teens.
The same show.
The same show.
If I think it was portrayed to adults.
And maybe written a little bit differently so it's more portrayed towards adults.
If I think it was written towards adults more, and it was on like Comedy Central,
I think it would have been
maybe
different. I think things would have been a lot different.
Maybe.
Even if it wasn't really written more towards adults, even if it was just on a different network.
Because like, okay, so I think...
Because think about it. We're people that grew up, we were young when we first were introduced to it.
Yeah.
And we were introduced to it by accident. It just happened.
It was just on TV.
It was just there, and we saw that shit firsthand, and it freaked us out. So of course, in our minds, we didn't comprehend the actual messages.
But I mean, now we're still watching. Well, now we're still watching it, and we're like, man, you know, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. But I think it sucks more on the surface level, not so much when you look deeper into it.
Are you being ironic?
No.
Are you being a shitlord?
No. Like, I really think it's a commentary. At least at certain points. Like at the point where
we watched another episode.
Like,
and he tries to get ripped, so he sells his soul to Satan. Not Satan, but Satan.
Yeah. And I just think it's kind of like a... Maybe that's a commentary on, like...
Next time we do one of these, we definitely need to do more research.
Yeah. I think that like, in that context, that's a commentary on, like...
Beauty standards and stuff.
Beauty standards.
Which,
and
how you might be onto something.
People are willing to do anything to become more attractive or, you know, to...
But it's not like that's an original concept, though.
It's not an original concept, but if you think about it, though, it's not just weird shit thrown together.
Yeah.
Like everybody seems to think it is. And I think that, like, in the context of the first episode that we watched, where the boss was controlling the manager, it was like...
yeah.
It's like, okay, do my bidding because you have to, or because I'm, like I'm controlling you. Like, this, like, the food system is controlling him.
Yeah, that's definitely... But I don't think that makes the show any good. I don't think it makes the show any good.
I don't think it's a really good show. I'm not saying it's a... But I'm just saying, like... I think
if it was
people look too much
portrayed differently.
On the surface level.
If it was portrayed differently, perhaps maybe if they like made it a little raunchier and like even weirder, because I think it's in like that weird middle ground of like this is just weird. Mm-hmm. Like South Park at the time, South Park was like, whoa, this is completely nuts, right? Yeah. Like I think if it went to that level of extremes and was a little raunchier, I do think it would be portrayed a lot differently.
Don't watch Swami Jeff though.
No. Watch Swami Jeff.
Make your dad get naked and watch Swami Jeff with you.
No, Dad, come on. Just
come on, Dad.
Everyone's naked.
Everybody.
What did he say? What did he say? He was like
everybody at home watching this is naked.
Yeah, and then he's like, everybody's naked when they're born. And it was like what?
Yeah.
If we can find more research on Swami Jeff, a definite Swami Jeff is coming.
Watch Mr. Meaty and leave a comment down below on what you think of Mr. Meaty.
Because, like, when you just... Up until Logan was like, maybe it's like commentary. And I was looking, I'm thinking back, I'm like, maybe. But I still 100% believe it had no reason to look like that.
Do some research. Think about it.
Do your own research.
Do your own research. Tell us what you find. We'll respond. We'll like your comments.
We'll kiss you. Maybe.
Maybe we'll do a follow-up video.
I definitely think we did this. It's 11 o'clock, and we were just like, let's do...
I've been up since 8 o'clock this morning.
We were just like, let's do Mr. Meaty thing, and we were like, okay. Yeah. I say we like it wasn't just me. But I liked this. I would definitely like to do more of these.
Yeah.
And when this becomes more steady for us, because our lives suck.
At the end of the day, the 43 of you that we have at the moment, we love you.
We do, and keep watching us.
We thank you for watching, and we...
I just did a promotion on Instagram, and we're gonna see how that goes.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if that does anything. Bye, cuties.
Goodbye.